See, CGTMSE is primarily a guarantee scheme for the MSMEs who do not have any collateral security to offer to the banks. You know, one of the major problems that our MSMEs face when they go to the banks for credit is the issue of collateral security. Usually, you know, what is collateral security? It is something to be placed before the bank, whether it is mortgage or whether some fixed deposit, etc. So, CGTMSE is a scheme that is giving guarantee to the banks that in case of default, the CGTMSE will make good for that loss or whatever. So recently, to answer your question, we have done certain changes. Like say for example, you know, on the target groups, say for example in aspirational districts or women entrepreneurs or say STSC entrepreneurs and the likes. So which are you know, on the target segment of the government, of the policy makers, what we have done is the extent of guarantee in normal cases is 75%. So in case of these entrepreneurs who are coming from aspirational districts or who are from STSC community or who are women entrepreneurs, etc. So we are giving them a higher this thing of 85% guarantee coverage or something. So that we have done to have a policy focus or to encourage the banks to lend to this sector more. So that is one. And recently we have also moderated the guarantee commissions. You know, earlier because there is a fees, guarantee fee, like you know, the entrepreneur has to pay a guarantee fee because collateral security is not there. So guarantee commission is to be paid. That has been substantially moderated. And most importantly, recently, you know, in the bottom of the pyramid, the microfinance institutions, they have emerged as also one of the lenders to the MSMEs, especially from SHGs to SMEs. You know, when from microfinance to micro enterprises, when you talk at the lowest level, the the microfinance institution, they lend to the MSMEs. So we have also included them as eligible lending institution under our guarantee mechanism. So these are the certain major changes that has happened. And of course, you know about Udan portal, when an entrepreneur can, you know for himself whether it is getting guarantee or not, and with that it can approach the bank for credit facilities. See, what happens is, you know, banks are formal financial institutions, right? So what is happening, our MSMEs, most of them are operating in an informal environment, right? So many of them are maybe not registered on the Udyam portal or not registered with NSIC, or they are not captured anywhere in the formal financial system or formal system. So banks being the formal financial institutions, when the informal sector approaches the banks, it becomes slightly difficult. If you see roughly the Udyam registration portal of Ministry of MSME currently has about 1 crore registrations, as against about 7 to 8 crore of MSMEs in the country. That means it is hardly 15 to 20%. So somewhere I think there is a need that we should work towards formalizing the MSMEs which are not formal so far. So we are, you know, basically we are trying to do formalization of the informal MSMEs by, by putting in place a huge mammoth digital intervention in place, whereby, you know, we can try to bring along, say, the PM Swanidhi beneficiaries, the microfinance beneficiaries, and the other people who are availing some form of credit from these institutions, but somewhere they are not captured in the system. So they come into this platform, they become formal, and then they can be linked to the formal financial system and other government benefits that is available in the formal system. So I think going forward, all these things were taken together, it should happen. Now it is 15 to 20%. I'm sure we are going to see a growth in terms of coverage of MSMEs to the in the banking system in terms of credit availment. So I'm glad you asked this question. Yes, MSMEs tend to grow in cluster, and India is no exception. So you know, we have many clusters. We have certain you know, clusters which are since ages. You know, say for example, your lock making cluster in Aligarh, or your Kalin cluster in Bhadoi, and so on and so forth. You have this Ikat cluster in Bargarh, Sambalpur. So we have very important clusters, but somehow our clusters are not you know, benchmarked to the global standards. So when you look at these clusters, you see so many deficiencies exist Say for example, there are infrastructural deficiencies, and there are deficiencies which perhaps need business development services interventions. When I say business development services interventions, it is the soft infrastructure that needs to be worked upon for the MSMEs in the clusters. Say for example, I'll tell you, a person may be working in a handloom cluster. A particular sari, say for example, may be taking 10 days, 15 days or 20 days to weave. But when it comes to product costing, the fellow doesn't know how to do a product costing, right? So today we are all living in digital age. Our products and services are all on the digital platform. But our MSMEs, especially the products which are produced in the clusters, they are very good products, world-class products, have demand in the global market. But then we have to allow people to see it also. So digital platform onboarding is very, very important, right? Then for example, we have to give them contemporary design trainings. Possibly what they are doing is traditional design. While traditionality is to be preserved, but at the same time we must give them contemporary designs also, so that they can combine both and produce goods and services that is accepted in the market. That is a soft intervention. Then we have the hard interventions, like infrastructure development in our clusters, right? Our clusters today are not infrastructurally very, very, very well developed. So for that, Government of India through Reserve Bank of India has created a cluster development fund in SIDBI, where we are lending at a very, very nominal rate to the state governments for deploying that funds for improving the hard infrastructure in and around MSME clusters, be it MSME parks, be it the roads and bridges, houses for the laborers, whatever. These are all happening now through the SIDBI Cluster Development Fund. It is just a little more than 1 year we are doing, and we have already assisted 5 state governments and 10 more states are in the pipeline. So it is happening. Both hard and soft infrastructure in the clusters are going to be improved in a span of maybe 3 to 4 to 5 years. So that is happening very much, and that will benefit our MSMEs in the clusters to benchmark themselves against the world standards.